Welcome back to TacosandGeeks.com. Justin here, back with more series reviews. And today we are going to be reviewing My Adventures of Superman episode 1 and 2. As always, I give you a brief synopsis. So I'm going to read a synopsis from episode 1 and episode 2. So forgive me if I'm shifting myself over here because I'm going to actually read the synopsis. So this episode 1 and 2 is called Adventures of a Normal Man Part 1 and Part 2. So episode 1 synopsis is: secret alien Clark Kent and his best friend Jimmy Olsen start their internship at the Daily Planet, meet fellow intern Lois Lane, who ropes them into investigating stolen military robots threatening Metropolis. So that is the synopsis for episode 1. The synopsis for episode 2 reads as follows: Adventures of a Normal Man Part 2. Clark returns to the Kent farm with questions about where he's from and who he wants to be. Meanwhile, Lois and Jimmy track down the mysterious mercenary Livewire and encounter Superman once again. Um, wow, I am pleasantly surprised. Episode 1 and 2. When I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, all right. When I first saw the stills, I was like, animation. I was like, okay, are they going for more anime aesthetic? For what it was like, what is the show going to be? But I had a hell of a time watching this. I say I got Superman, the original anime series vibes from this, just because, just the way the tone is. This is Superman. I loved every minute of this, and what I really like about this is the fact that it's going back to that concept that we seem to have lost um in the terms of superheroes, which is secret identity. And this is something that I'm hoping that this series is going to keep up with, is Clark trying to keep his secret identity of Superman from Jimmy and Lois and just the world in general, and just be that duality of Clark Kent and Superman. I had a fun time watching this. Episode 1 does a really great job of introducing us to our three core protagonists: Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, and of course Clark Kent, Superman. And in episode 1, he's not really Superman yet. He is still discovering his powers. I love the backstory that they gave us. They give us a little bit of flashback of Clark as a kid when he first discovered that he can fly. We get a cameo from Martha and Jonathan Kent in this as well. And I really like the exploration of a little bit of Clark just kind of trying to be normal as possible. And that's kind of hard for him to do because he still doesn't have at this point control of his powers. He's opening doors and breaking them. He's breaking buttons by just touching it. So this is a Superman right now who's really just coming into terms with his abilities. And it's something refreshing to see, especially in the animation front, because we really don't really get to see that when in most of the animation of Superman still learning the ropes of not only just being a hero but just being Superman in general and what that entails. So I kind of like this as kind of an origin story, but not really the origin story of Superman. But it's doing a really good job. I really did enjoy episode 1, but episode 2 is where I really fell in love with the show because we get the great characterizations of Lois, Jimmy. Of course, Lois is still that driven woman, young woman that we see, abrasive, hell bent on getting her stories. And you see that in episode 1, but you really see in episode 2 of what type of Lois we're going to get here, who I thought played very, very well. The cast, let me just talk about a little bit about the cast. Let me bring the cast up real quick. We have Jack Quaid. For those who watch The Boys, he does an amazing Clark Kent. He does a great Superman as well. And you have Alice Lee, who does a great performance for Lois Lane. And I just really enjoy the dynamic between these two. And Jimmy Olsen as well by Ishmael Shadid. He does a great job as playing Jimmy Olsen. And there's a lot in here that everybody I think is gonna really enjoy. I just really was like, I'm shocked. I did not, honestly. I doubted the show. I didn't think it was gonna be this good, but it does give that spirit of Superman that I think a lot of us have been missing, and a lot of us wanted to see just this fun side. And there's some little dramatic elements, especially with Livewire and what she's gonna be doing. I thought the way they introduced Livewire and the way she becomes Livewire was pretty cool too. And one thing I have to say that's not a spoiler, I love the fact they treat Kryptonians as their own culture and the alien race. There is an appearance by a certain father. We all know who he is. And he doesn't speak to Clark in English. He speaks to Clark in Kryptonian. And I thought that was something that I've been waiting for in a while. It's like, how come they're aliens, but why are they always speaking English? He's speaking Kryptonian to Clark, and Clark doesn't understand Kryptonian. So I thought that was a beautiful addition to it, and I'm really happy with the show. I'm really happy with the series so far. I'm hoping we're gonna get the same type of tone, maybe a little bit more dramatic when we get to further in the season. But the animation was great. I like the art style. One thing I will nitpick about is not a fan of the S. I don't know, just something about the S looked a little bit off to me. But I'm gonna give this a watch it now. Don't put this in your queue to watch it later. Don't skip this. This was fun. You can watch it on Adult Swim on YouTube right now. The Adult Swim's YouTube channel has episode 1 out. You can watch it on HBO Max. So you can definitely check this out in various ways. Definitely check this one out. Tell me what you think below. This is Justin from MetropolisGeeks.com. I'm giving my adventures with Superman 2 thumbs up. This was fun. Watch it now. It was enjoyable. Catch you on the next one. Peace.